Chicago Bears Now is presented by Manscaped. Manscaped has the best men's grooming products out there, and you can get 20% off plus free shipping when you use promo code BEARS20 at manscaped.com. I'm Harrison Graham. I sign off on their products. I love their new beard hedger, the beard trimmer that they provide. Manscaped.com, promo code BEARS20, get 20% off plus free shipping. All right, it is mailbag time. Let's jump into your questions here. Alex Amberling, we need Jalen Carter, needed interior disruptor. Look, I'm not going to be upset if they take Jalen Carter. I think he's very much in play for Chicago. I think at times he's had a bit of an inconsistent motor and some inconsistent production, but the talent is unbelievable. I'm not disagreeing. You definitely need an interior disruptor, but there's a few of those guys in free agency as well. So if you address it there, maybe you go more edge in the draft. Get to our next super chat here. It is Dankster Dab. You signed a good 3-tech this year and traded number 4. Will Anderson is off the board at 3. Would you take Carter still? I definitely would still be open to it. I think it depends how you feel on who you sign. Like, say it's Deron Payne. He's a guy that can play both tackle spots. Maybe you take Carter and, you kind of mix and match where those guys line up. But I still think I would be willing to take Carter there. J-Man 3, 2 firsts, 2 seconds, Brian Burns, and more for number 2. Thoughts? I would certainly do it. Does Carolina want to give up that much? I think you meant for number 1, by the way, number 1 pick. But to move from 9 to 1 to go get a quarterback, that's going to cost you a lot, and the Bears are going to, want a king's ransom for it. So DJ Moore, Brian Burns, 2 firsts, 2 seconds. That's a haul. That would be hard to turn down if I was Ryan Poles. We love the Bears. Who's a player not named Justin Fields that the Bears could trade? They don't have a lot of guys that could get you a lot in return, like they traded Roquan and Robert Quinn during the season, because those were guys that made sense. Cody Whitehair, if you don't cut him, if a team's willing to make him their starting guard or center, you could trade him. I'd rather trade than cut him, even if you just get a late-round pick, but he is certainly a cut candidate as well. I don't think Eddie Jackson's getting traded. I don't think you're going to trade Darnell Mooney. So I think Whitehair is someone that could make some sense for the right team. Now, name a player that you guys think the Bears should trade. Even if you want to trade Justin Fields, you can type his name down below as well. Let us know in the comments who you think the Bears should trade. Speaking of QB1, the Bears trade down with the Raiders for 2 firsts, 2 seconds, and Max Crosby. So very similar to the last trade from Carolina, but you go to 7 instead of 9, and you only get 1 player in the deal. Still would consider it. Max Crosby's a beast, and you don't drop quite as far. So, yeah, could be possible. I don't know if the Raiders are going to trade Crosby. He's easily their best defensive player, but if they swing and miss on Tom Brady, or if he retires and they don't want to get a veteran quarterback, they want to draft one like C.J. Stroud or Bryce Young, then yeah, you're going to have to pay a lot if you're Las Vegas. From Kingnas FRMLP, did you see that Jaxon Smith-Njigba isn't mocked to go round 1? They think he's a 3rd-round pick. So you need to tell me who they is. I have seen different draft experts say different things about Smith-Njigba. Some think he's the best receiver in this draft. Some think he's like a number 2 or a number 3 in the NFL and could go in the 3rd round. I'd be shocked if he fell to the 3rd round. His 2021 tape was pretty unbelievable. Remember, he was better and more productive that year than his teammates Chris Olave and Garrett Wilson. Not saying he's better prospects than them, but at Ohio State, he put up bigger numbers than those guys. So I don't think we can just dismiss that. I'll tell you this. If he's there in the 2nd round when the Bears pick at 53 or whatever, I would take him in a heartbeat. Ryan Gardner, Tremaine Edmunds, or Yannick Nguake. Why not both? I would pick Ngakoue if I had to pick one. I just think the pass rusher is more valuable. I think it's a bigger need. This is a thin linebacker crew that you have after Sanborn, but you can get a lesser linebacker for cheaper and be okay at that spot. You need an impact defensive lineman, multiple of them, and Ngakoue would provide that. Trade Talk Sports, do you think that with the money the Bears have this season, the Bears should be contending for a deep playoff run, maybe even the Super Bowl, like we can be like the Eagles? That would be a big leap, but I think they can be a playoff contender, as in a chance to be a playoff team next year. They went 1-7 in one-score games this year. If you win 4 out of 7 or 4 out of 8, you're a 7-win team. So if that regresses back to the mean and then you just get better overall and you win a couple more games, well, then you're a 9 or 10-win team. So that probably gets you in the playoffs. So I don't think this is a team that's going to be improve enough to make a Super Bowl run next year, but a team that entering week 1 we feel like could or should make the playoffs, I definitely think that's a possibility. Sir Dobbs, how many free agents can the Bears realistically afford? I mean, it really just depends on how many high, expensive ones. Say you sign one of the top tackles like Caleb McGarry and Daron Payne. Well, that's probably going to cost you $40-45 million per year for the combined for those two guys. So that leaves you probably with about $60 million in cap. You could still probably sign, 3 to 5 starting level players, and then you still have, some depth pieces. So it really just depends on how many of those kind of high expensive level free agents that the Bears decide to go after. Speaking of a good deal, because you want to find good deals in free agency, the Beard Hedger Pro Kit from Manscaped Manscaped has breaking news. They have launched their first beard trimming product. It's called the Beard Hedger. Are you tired of using multiple products to maintain your beard? Then look no further than the luxury Beard Hedger Pro Kit from Manscaped. This complete beard maintenance kit has everything you need for the modern man on the go. From trimming to treatment, this kit has it all. This kit includes the Beard Hedger, AC adapter and USB-C cable, beard shampoo, beard conditioner, beard oil, beard balm, and a travel bag. Plus, as a special bonus, you will also receive a free beard accessory pack with a beard brush, beard comb, and beard scissors. The Beard Hedger was designed with a unique cutting angle to have its built-in comb lift flat-lying hairs for smooth, single-stroke trimming, and for a limited time only, you can get 20% off plus free shipping with promo code BEARS20. So don't wait. Get your Beard Hedger Pro Kit today and take your beard game to the next level. Manscaped.com, promo code BEARS20. You don't have to worry about having all these multiple guards. You can say goodbye to that. I mean, I've had a drawer designated to that over the past couple of years with my old product, and I threw that in the trash last week because this is on one rotator. Pick the level of trim you want. You're good to go. Promo code BEARS20. Check the comments. Check the description. It's manscaped.com. Super chat from Christian Tanas. We've got, let's see here. Thoughts on getting DeAndre Hopkins in free agency? You'd have to trade for him. He's under contract. Or Mike Evans via a trade and then drafting for a receiver, or getting Pittman in a trade via picks. Just feel like we need to surround JF with more talent. Well, yeah, that last sentence is definitely true. You got to get better on the O-line and at receiver. I like all those receivers. I think DeAndre Hopkins is probably the most affordable because I don't think you're going to have to give up a first-round pick. I think the only way you trade for Pittman is if it is in a trade down with the Colts at 4, which could certainly happen. Mike Evans, do the Bucs, lose Brady and kind of hit their mini reset button? It's possible. They let Byron Leftwich go, so maybe they trade out some personnel a little bit. So I would certainly like a big-body receiver like that in Chicago as well. Vincent Burns' idea, go more defense in free agency in the draft and more willing to trade down for more than once to get a haul of picks to go on offense, getting more players on Fields' timeline. How about you? I do think the defensive free agency crop is a little better than offense. Like wide receiver isn't that deep in free agency, although Michael Thomas could get added to the mix. But defensive line is pretty good, especially at tackle. There's a couple of edge rushers in there like Yannick Ngakoue and Marcus Davenport. There's a lot of linebackers. There are good running backs in free agency. I will say that. So they got to figure out David Montgomery, Saquon, Josh Jacobs, what they want to do there. But, yeah, I mean, you could definitely go that route. But I still think the top of the draft is more defensive-oriented. And even if you trade down to like 7 or 8, the defensive value there is still better than offense. So it really would just have to depend how far they trade down. Brandon Matura, Bears could end up trading for Trent Williams. I mean, I doubt it. I don't think the Niners are going to trade him. And, the Bear, he's a first-round guy. So you'd have to trade. You're not trading the number 1 pick, so you'd have to trade your first next year. I don't want to trade my first next year. So I don't think Trent Williams to the Bears is realistic. Would I love to see that happen? Yeah, but I'm not giving up the number 1 pick to see it happen. So, I don't think Trent Williams is going anywhere. Subscribe to us here on Bears Now and join us every Tuesday as we go live and do these mailbags for you guys, 4 o'clock Eastern, 3 Central Time every single Tuesday. Subscribe to the channel. If you have a question, this is the time to ask it. YouTube.com/BearsNow. Join us every single week. Chris Towner, Poles helped build the Chiefs. Cunningham helped build the Eagles. Both are in the Super Bowl. We're in good hands. Yeah, look, Ryan Poles and Ian Cunningham were sought-after guys. Poles interviewed with multiple teams. He was a finalist, I believe, with the Giants as well last year, maybe another franchise. Ian Cunningham turned down the Cardinals this offseason, and he was going to get a second interview with the Titans before they settled on Rand Carthen. So, yeah, I mean, you've got a really good 1-2 punch in your front office right now. So the time is now. This is a huge offseason for this franchise, and I do think you're in a good spot with the guys in charge. From Jacob Kellerman, what about trading for Tristan Wirfs? Again, if Tampa hits a bit of a rebuild here, and, maybe they will. We'll see. I'd be interested, but do they want a first-round pick? They probably do. So that really comes down to, Jacob, are you willing to trade your 2024 first-round pick? Because the Bears aren't trading the number 1 pick straight up for Tristan Wirfs. Now, if it's for Tristan Wirfs, 3 Tampa first-round picks and something else, maybe. But they're not going to move that far down in the draft without getting an absolute haul. Go to Justin here, then we got another super chat. What's Eddie Jackson's trade value? Tough to say. He was having a great year, but his contract's not awesome. He also missed the last 6 games or whatever with that leg injury. Middle round pick, 3rd, 4th. I don't think you're getting a 1st or 2nd for him, with him having that injury. But I think the Bears keep him anyway. He becomes more tradable or cuttable after 23, and he became a strong leader and really good player again last year. From Michael, Super Chat, appreciate it. Our 3rd rounder for Eddie Jackson. I don't know why he said 183, by the way. You guys are in a deep rebuild. You're talking about Seahawks. I think you just mean 83. I'm not sure, though. Need picks, need a safety that can constantly stay healthy. Eddie Jackson for a 3rd. Maybe. Might consider it. I'd have to think about it. Who are the Bears getting at safety to fill that void? You got Brisker at strong. You would need a new free safety. So that's the problem with trading good players. Then you just create another hole on a team with a lot of holes. So, that's something to consider. Can I get a bear down in the comments? Bring the energy in the comment section down below. Type bear down if you are fired up for the off season, because it's going to be a big one for this franchise. Couple more questions here from Rum. How high are the odds that the Bears trade down? I think we should trade down once with the Texans, then again with the Colts, possibly get 2 future firsts. Look, that's the dream, right? I put it at 65% odds recently. I think there is a good chance, but the reality is the number 1 pick has only been traded 1 time in the last 20 years. It was the Rams in 2016 when they went up and got Jared Goff. It takes 2 to tango. I do think teams will be interested. It's a good QB class, and the Bears are in a rare spot where they have the top pick and don't need a quarterback. So I do think that there's a good chance it happens, but they got to be prepared to make a pick in case they don't get a good trade offer. James Snead, bring back Khalil Mack if he gets cut. I've seen this rumor circulate. The Chargers can save about $20 million if they cut him. He had a hell of a first half of the season, kind of slowed down in the second half. He's getting older. He's had some injuries the past few years. But, I'd bring him back at the right price. I'm not giving him $20 million, but maybe like $15 million for him. Go get a D-tack. Khalil Mack's still good, man. Jarrett Page gets a super chat in here. In my mocks, I trade down to the 20s, stock up on 2nd and 3rd rounds. Most value, I think, Met, Johnson, Jenkins. I don't know what you mean by you talking about Quentin Johnston, something Jenkins. Not sure about the names there. But, yeah, there is value in the 2nd and 3rd round of this draft. So I don't blame you for what you're doing, but you also, you need, a cornerstone guy, too. I don't think you want to trade from 1 to 25 just to get a bunch of middle-round picks. Plus, you got to find a team that's going to do that. Now, you could trade down from 1 to 4, get picks. 4 again, get picks. You could trade down multiple times, but it's going to be hard to do that with one single trade down. Appreciate your questions. If you have more, you can hit me up on social media. It's at HGramNFL on Twitter, at HGramNFL on Instagram. Same handle, different platform. Slide in the DMs if you have any Bears or NFL questions. Always down to hit you guys up. So it's at HGramNFL. Appreciate you guys for tuning in.